Frank's late, or we're going to get started anyway. Oh, shit. Never mind. You barely made it.
Guess what?
Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joining as always with my good friend Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby. Let's get it on.
Got that nice shirt going on there, man.
Reach for the sky.
Reach for the sky, boy. You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about all the news in the wrestling. You can also follow us on social media, scrolling low on the bottom and in the description below. And yeah, look who else just decided to. That'll be fine.
That'll be a fine.
What's the Wrestling Council's rating? Oh, shit. I don't know. Pretty hard at this point. But how you doing, Johnny?
I can't legally comment on that, but I can tell we have a great show tonight, talking about great matches. I can't talk about what you just asked me because reasons, but we have a great show tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. I can't keep this up. I can't keep this up.
I can't go into detail, but I can tell you that this Wednesday we're going to have a great show.
Not going to comment on that.
What? What the fuck? Oh, my God. Poor TK. Oh, man. But anyway, real quick before we get going, let's check in here. Leg Kick was first. He said, "Hail, what's up, Leg Kick? Appreciate you being here, man." Malacito's next. He said, "Sup, people? What's up, Malacito?"
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's
up?
Big Daddy was next. He said, "Hey, yo."
Hey, yo.
Appreciate you being a Big Daddy. Go check out the Guardian of Chaos, guys. Closing in on 1,000. That's something we need to work on. We'll be this year. At the end of this year, we'll be at 1,000 ourselves. But appreciate you being here.
You see, Bob, our attendance is not that big, but we have a great cage match rating.
Yeah. It's it's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Miss Saren said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome, Miss Saren."
Hey, Saren.
Appreciate you being here. Malacita said, "The good." Malacita's jumping ahead of us. He said, "The good Hulk Hogan using all the power of the Hulkamaniacs to save that girl in the wreck. The bad, Ron's injuries, the ugly, the IWC in general." Yep, I hear you, brother. Not bad, but since he went ahead and went there, let's go ahead and get in our favorite 7, a little something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week, it is that guy's turn. What you got, brother?
This guy. Since we missed it last week, somebody was a little under the weather, which is okay.
Still under the weather.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah.
The good.
Just when I get healthy, you gotta get sick.
Yeah. You pass it up here from Brazil.
Yeah. Trying to give me the HIV.
Yeah. First special shout out to my team at Aaron and Moses out here in Twinsburg. Caleb, Izzy, Megan, Kyle, Brian, the rest of the team there. Appreciate it, man. Helped me get out of there a little bit early today, or a little bit late today, but on time enough to be able to get here for the show. Caleb's not mine. Caleb is the executive chef and does a great job there. So hats off to Mr. Caleb. But anyway, moving on. The good. Diana Perazzo is all elite.
Yeah.
And they definitely need an influx of some good female talent in that company.
Yeah. Good step forward, man. She's one of the best out there today.
Yeah. Is Mercedes Moné coming there soon? Who knows? We'll see. you listen to some guys. No, she's going to be at Royal Rumble next week. Other ones say no, she's going to AEW. So who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for that inevitable Purato versus Sky Blue match. It's coming soon.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I'll tell you what, man. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with her or whatnot, but she really is. She's really good, man. She's really, really, really good. Definitely a good pickup from TK.
Yeah.
Now he just needs to book her right and get those matches going.
We got a problem then.
We're gonna talk about it, man.
And you got Serena Deeb coming back too. So
Yep.
got some female talent coming to AEW. So hopefully, like I said, that Tony Khan does right by them and gets them going. So
I mean, they've done a good job with Tony Storm so far. They finally started putting a few storylines together.
Yeah, I tend to believe she did that herself. She just said, "Let me do my thing."
That's the way a lot of it happens in AEW, man. A lot of it happens organically, but at least, hey, he saw it was working and he ran with it. So,
the bad Roman Reigns, what I'm reading is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, a Saudi event, and SummerSlam.
Yeah,
that's all they have him booked for.
For
the summer.
Yeah, 4 matches for 8 months. That's it.
One for each horseman.
Dude, we go back to like the 2015, 2016 when we were talking about Brock Lesnar being a part-timer and him being bad. At least he worked more matches than that. My God, that's ridiculous.
So if he's only working those 4,
I
really can't see them taking the title off him at WrestleMania.
Well,
if he's only working those 4, they better take that belt off of him at WrestleMania. I don't think, but you know what, like, dude, hey, I when we made our predictions, I said at the beginning of the year, Cody will not finish the story. AEW is going to they're gonna drag that crap out, and when it finally does happen, no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah, he's gonna keep the title. I feel now more than likely he's gonna keep the title to pass Hogan.
Yeah,
I blame Dwayne.
I blame Hunter.
It's Hunter. It's Triple H's fault for sure.
Yeah,
it's Hunter and Vince.
Yeah. Well, it's Hunter with a with a leftover flavor from Vince,
right? Because Vince set the groundwork for it,
and it's. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, dude, like people. Oh God, we talked about this until we were blue in the face. This idea that when we finally do pull the trigger, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, finally!" No, everyone's gonna be like, "Yeah, nobody gives a shit anymore." That's what it's gonna be, and they're not doing Reigns any favors by doing this.
Nope.
This is not gonna help him. So, but yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do. And actually, I don't think it's the Hogan thing. I think it's they want him to pass Bruno's first reign.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is actually a little bit longer than that. So it's not a good thing.
I guess so.
Yeah, you do. No, look, I want to be wrong this time. I want this to end at WrestleMania because for God's sake, and we know. But here's the thing, though. The Rock match is going to happen at WrestleMania. We know it's going to happen at WrestleMania because Roman's not going to be at any of the other events.
It's like that Goldberg and Brock Lesnar situation. None of them is going to show up regularly. So who cares?
All right. What's your ugly, my brother?
My ugly is, we've said it before, I'll say it again, the injury bug. No. Seth Rollins, Cora Jade, possibly torn ACL.
Yep.
She's done till the end of the year if that's the case.
And depending on
Charlotte, because that's what happened to Charlotte.
Yeah, and depending on what happened to Seth might be on the shelf for a long time too.
And you got what's his name? Was it Austin Theory or was it Cameron Hayes or was it both of them? I can't
think
remember.
it was both of them, but Austin Theory's was worse.
Yeah, and that's not the first female talent for NXT that's got injury like that. So it's, what kind of training are they doing on NXT with their women that's causing a rash of knee injuries?
I think it's just a matter of,
or is it the spot they're doing? Are they doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing?
I think one of the biggest reasons why a lot of these injuries happen is people doing moves that they don't have any business doing because they're not good enough with them yet. I think that's a lot of it. A lot of it though is like I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes you got to protect these guys from themselves. They want to perform, they want to be showy, they want to do the big moves, they want to get the big pop. But sometimes it's not a good idea. I mean, look at that. Look at Darby. Darby might be on the shelf right now. We don't know yet.
So you're saying they're trying to go the Dante Martin route?
Yeah, they're trying to show up and show out, and sometimes the ideas that they have are just not good. It's like that. It's the Jungle Boy situation. He wanted to go through real glass. There's no goddamn reason to do it. And he got all pissy about it. But like I said, it's, sometimes you gotta protect these guys from themselves.
And Charlotte has her injury, and she easily could have had that injury sooner at War Games when she comes off the top of the cage.
God, dude, that was so bad.
That could have tore her knee up.
That could have been a career ender.
Can the industry just agree? Like Mick Foley did it. We have that footage. We can just play replays of that instead of having people do it again.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
You don't need those. You don't need to be. You can get a reaction. You can get the crowd into it. You don't need to be doing moves like that. It's
yeah.
Well, look at the. He didn't get hurt. But how high was Sammy Guevara up when he tried to come down on Ricky Starks?
Enough to make me cringe. But dude, it's like that move that swinging throw that they did to Darby in that match when his neck landed on that bottom rope. I can't remember the guy's name, but that dude that was in that match with Rey Mysterio, that killed him.
Pero Aguayo. Pero Aguayo Jr. Pero Aguayo Jr.
Yeah. That move that killed him. Okay, and we said this before, and we'll say it again. Darby's career is going to be truncated extremely because of him doing all this crazy shit. And
every time that comes up, I say it's not his career that's going to be short. It's going to be his life if somebody doesn't stop it.
Oh yeah, dude, and like. He's going to go climb Mount Everest. You know how many people die climbing Mount Everest every year? Okay. I get that he's a thrill seeker. He's one of those guys. He's cut from the same cloth as those stupid kids who climb those towers and hang off of skyscrapers and shit. And I'll tell you what, man, I don't care if it pisses them off or not. If I was Tony Khan, I'd be like telling some of these guys, no, you got to dial some of this stuff back.
Yeah, y'all know how much I like him. I talk about Darby at length here, but he jumped over his house with a car. He's not right in the head.
Yeah, he's a stunt man. He's those guys that Cornette rails about. He's one of them.
Happy New Year, Courtney.
Yep, you too, Courtney. Have a good Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, girl.
All right, man. That's my GBU.
All right, let me get into it before we get off on another tangent here. My good.
Good luck.
Too late.
My good. New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley.
No.
Had two banger matches, man.
Not New Japan, not Robin.
Absolutely banger matches. You shut the hell up. John Moxley versus Shingo Takagi, no disqualification match. This thing went freaking 26 minutes. It was so good, man. You guys have heard me talk about Shingo Takagi. I think that more people need to know who that guy is. He's amazing. Him and Mox put on a hell of a match. But the match, dude, early contender for match of the year. The final meeting between Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay, dude, holy shit, this match was amazing. Almost a half an hour, just back and forth. And if anybody has any wonder of like why so many people make a big deal out of Will Ospreay, go watch this friggin' match. It's so freaking good, man. His crowd was just eating it up too, man. And god damn, it was amazing. It was so good.
And anybody who thinks Okada's coming to the States can forget about it.
Dude, he's not going in. He's especially now that Tanahashi's in charge of New Japan. He's staying in New Japan.
I've been saying that.
Well, yeah, wow. Everybody's been saying that. It could be
No,
like,
no.
He's going to WWE. The only reason he goes to WWE if he wants to be a bigger star than he already is. That's it.
He can go back to being Okada in TNA again.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. But this match, guys, like I said, man, I can't wait for Ospreay to be in AEW full time so people can understand how big a deal this dude is. And if Tony Khan has any brains in his freaking head, he's going to build one of the two shows is going to be built around him. And if he's got half a brain in his head, Collision should be the Will Ospreay show.
You know what is sad?
What's up?
That we say one of the two shows because Rampage is dead in the water.
Well, like I said, the topic today is what does AEW need to do in 2024? We're going to talk about that. I have my thoughts on what they need to do with Rampage. But yeah, that's my good, man. If you guys get the chance, and I think they'll eventually on the New Japan's YouTube channel, probably within the next month or so, they'll have these matches up there for people to watch. Go watch this match, dude. It's so freaking good. God damn. That's on my bucket list, Big Daddy. And you know what? If I can, I'm gonna take everybody with me somehow, some way. But yeah, my bucket list. I want to watch. I want to go to Wrestle Kingdom at the Tokyo Dome. So, but
I thought the Hurricane Hall was going to be on your list.
Corkin Hall.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I want to go to. I wouldn't mind going to Corkin Hall, but it's Wrestle Kingdom is always at the Tokyo Dome. So, the bad Seth Rollins injury, man. This could not have happened at a worse possible time. And like you said, man, the injury bug just jumped up. And last year, the injury bug, kicked the shit out of AEW. This year, it's kicking the shit out of WWE.
Ain't nobody finishing their story now, not even Punk.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. But here's the thing, though. This injury could spell absolute doom for all the plans that they had going forward for everybody, including Cody
and Drew.
And Cody and Drew especially, but for pretty much everybody.
And Punk.
My bucket list for trip for pro wrestling, same thing is go to Japan. Yep.
Well, it's I mean, there's a couple things that are like I want to go to a WrestleMania. Obviously, I mean, it's showcase of the immortals.
Yeah, but to go to Japan,
God damn, it'd be awesome. It's gonna be so freaking awesome.
Cries in Brazilian.
Cries in Brazilian.
Yeah, I'm crying in Brazilian because that's not gonna happen to me.
You never know, man. Hey, you kick off that comic book career. People see how good the stuff you're putting out there is, man. You don't know. You might be swimming in money one day.
Big Daddy wants to know what yours is, Johnny. What's your bucket list?
What's your bucket list?
If they have another show in Wembley, just because of the football history in that stadium, I'd like to go there. Just like two birds in one stone.
Cool deal.
Well, Big Daddy, what's yours?
Yeah, drop yours in the chat for this, Big Daddy. But yeah, this injury to Seth Rollins could not have happened at a worse time. They had all these plans built up. Obviously, the match for Punk at WrestleMania was going to be him and Seth. Now we don't know what's going to happen. On top of that, We don't know what's going to happen with this throws a monkey wrench in there for everything. So they've got to start moving everything around, and we don't know what they're going to do now.
See, Rob, you, me, and Big Daddy all go to Japan.
Hell yeah, dude! I wouldn't be upset with that. Konnichiwa, bitches. But
Rob
yeah,
Rob be a big guy, Jen.
Yeah. But Seth, and then obviously the other injuries aren't good either. But and then, like I said, man, that we still don't know what's going on with Darby. We don't know if he's seriously injured or if he's okay. But that landing was bad, man. It was bad.
If there's something in his neck, he might be out for Revolution, I think.
Dude, they're being really, really quiet about what's going on with him, so he may be out for a while. We don't know what's going on. It depends on how bad it is.
And there goes Sting's last match.
Yep. But and then the ugly dude, Tony Khan's Twitter bullshit. Good God, man.
Why are you hindering Jinder, man? Don't hinder Jinder, man.
It's just so. I mean, people. There's already a section of people who think AEW is Bush League, and when he does shit like that, it just makes everything worse. I know what he's thinking. He's thinking as long as they're talking about AEW, it's a win. But not in today's world, the way things work today. No, dude, this kind of shit just turns people off.
Everyone's talking about,
it makes you look stupid.
Everyone's talking about Jericho, but that's not for good reasons.
Well, Tony made everyone stop talking about Jericho for a couple of days because of this stupidity.
Even the biggest AEW marks are like, put the phone down. This is not good.
Oh, dude, everybody is. Dude, there's talent in the locker room are talking about how this is embarrassing to them. Flair would take Darby's place. Oh, Jesus God. Please, no. I don't want to see Ric Flair die in the ring. Dude.
He just posted a workout video, like a deadlift or something.
Well, here's the thing. The last thing to go is your physical strength. Okay. But if you like, I don't know if anybody else watched his last match, but dude, he wasn't moving very well. It looked bad, and it was scary. It was legitimately scary.
And forget moving bad, he passed out multiple times.
Yeah, the guy almost died.
Yeah.
Okay. His heart stopped. I mean, shit, dude. But yeah, this thing with Tony, man, it just made him look Bush League as hell, man. And the thing that he's the face of AEW. Okay, he's the owner of AEW. Everyone can say no, the face is Jericho, or it's Moxley, or it's going to be Ospreay or whoever. No, Tony Khan is the face of AEW. Okay, and right now, I mean, all the behind the scenes reports are saying that the deal with Warner Brothers Discovery is inked. They're just waiting to announce it. Warner Brothers Discovery themselves came out and said that and they were singing the praises for AEW. So I think they're just waiting to get everything completely finalized and whatnot. But stuff like this is what makes people like Warner Brothers go, wait a minute, maybe we don't, maybe it's the same kind of crap that happened with NWA, with the stupidity that they pulled on that pay-per-view. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that can derail your deals.
It can. Tony's not doing no drugs though right now, right?
No, he's doing a drug. It's called he's sniffing his own farts. It's stupid, and it just makes AEW look bad. And he needs to shut the hell up. He needs to take a page. He's taking the wrong page out of Vince's book, which is I do whatever I want whenever I want, which isn't a good book, which isn't a good page to take out of it. You need to take the page out of the book where it's basically just blow this stuff off and don't even think about it. Don't even address it. Be above it. And he really needs to. Just when you think he's done doing stupid shit.
Nope.
But
I wasn't surprised.
I'm not. You know, the sad thing is, I'm not surprised either. It's just so disappointing. It's like, really, dude, come on, man. Yeah, this is kindergarten shit. So knock it off. But that's my GBU. Johnny, you got anything you want to throw in there?
One thing to complain about, and I know I'm probably I might be alone on this one, but there's like one match that I was very like looking forward to that AEW just killed my boner for. Is if his last match is against the Young Bucks, I'm already sad about it.
Oh, you talking about Sting?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. He wanted that match. That's the match
I
he
don't.
wanted.
That's the thing. I don't care what he wants.
Dude, it's it's Sting. What are you gonna tell him? No.
Yeah.
If I was the boss, yes.
Well, okay. Well, who should it be against then?
FTR.
You think it should be against FTR? I think FTR. I mean, it's
the best thing looked in that company was against FTR.
Oh, well, FTR is the best tag team in the world. So, I'm surprised it wasn't against someone like Jeff Jarrett or something like that. Somebody from his TNA days, or something along that line.
Jeff Hardy.
Dude, that would make more sense. Honestly, him and Darby versus Matt and Jeff. That makes more sense. They've got more history.
Yeah, but those two are not in position to carry anybody anymore. Instinct has to be carried.
And that's the thing. And I think that's the whole reason why he chose the Bucks. Because whether you like them or you don't like them, the Bucks can carry them through a match and make them look good. So, and I think that's what he did. Now, Lance Archer, see, dude. Well, the match I want with Lance Archer is him versus Brian Cage. And we might actually get that match. So, the monster versus the machine. Yes. But as far as Sting's last match is concerned, it's like there's not really a whole lot of options. So I would have gone, me personally, I would have gone with FTR too. But, FTR is involved in a feud with House of Black right now. So, but and I also think this is going to be a big part of the Bucks heel turn, which is just game faces again.
Yeah.
Anyway, but here's the thing: I like the Bucks better as heels anyway.
Yeah.
I liked them better when they were off TV.
Come on, man! The Bucks aren't bad. The Bucks are a good tag team. You just
I'm not a spot monkey guy.
No. They're more than spot monkeys, but when they do the spot monkey thing, it's pretty bad.
Yes.
But all right, that's our good, bad, and ugly, guys. Go ahead and throw in everybody else in the chat that haven't done already. Give us an idea of what you think is your good, your bad, and your ugly for the week. Okay, so AEW is definitely in a transitory state. Coming off of Brawl Out and all the fallout that came out of that. A lot of cracks forming, people leaving, people coming in. They are, the deal they're signing with Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be a big deal. It's going to be $200 million plus, which is about 4 times the budget that they have already. So they've got a lot of assets that they can pull off of. What we need to talk about is, what do they need to do to not just to get back to where they were, but to get to the next level.
First, we can skip the hire a booker. Think that's not going to happen. So we might not even talk about that.
Well, I don't think Tony's ever going to give up the control booking. The controls of being a booker. I could see him bringing in a booking committee though, and then he has the final say over everything. He just brought in what the heck is that guy's name? They just brought in basically a new CEO, Chief Operations Officer. So and he's a former WWE guy. His name escapes me now right off the top of my head, but Tony's making some moves and he's putting people into positions of power that could end up doing good things for AEW. And we've talked about this before, and he needs to give up some of that power. And it does look like he's giving up at least a little bit of it. So that is one good move right there. The biggest thing I think he needs to do, though, is when Collision first came out, the reason why everybody liked it is because it felt different than Dynamite.
Yes.
It felt very different than Dynamite. It felt like more of an old school traditional wrestling show. It had a 2-man crew, the best 2-man crew you could possibly have, in my personal opinion. You had Kevin Kelly as a lead commentator, the lead commentator, and then you had Nigel McGuinness, and they played really well off each other. Then you had Jim Ross come out for the main event. That was great. It felt different. The show felt different. He needs to go back to that. As soon as Punk was gone and he was no longer, basically running that show, it feels like more of the same shit from Dynamite. And that was a mistake.
The different feel was his skull. It was coming from Punk's head. So now that Dynamite came from Tony's head. So now that it's his call again, there's not much you can do.
Well, the thing is he should have just handed the reins off to Bryan Danielson. That's what he should have done. And we know that Bryan Danielson is slowly taking a bigger and bigger role in behind the scenes, which is good. Tony at least recognizes what Bryan Danielson can do. He at least recognizes his creativity. He at least recognizes that he's the kind of a leader who can pull this kind of thing together. He needs to pull the trigger on it and just put him in charge of Collision and go back to this idea of a soft brand split. Because it was working. It was making waves. People were slowly warming up to it. It felt different. It felt fresh. And that's something that AEW needs to get back to is being the alternative.
Yeah, they need to freshen up the product. They need to get the international title off of Pockets. Pockets doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Need to put it on somebody. They needed to. This title is going to be defended on Collision. This title is only going to be defended on Dynamite, and do that.
Well, the whole reason they created that belt was it was going to be the belt that was going to be over on Collision.
Having Eddie carry around 3 belts is dumb.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up another thing. So, the first thing that I'm putting out here is Collision needs to go back to being different from Dynamite. I like Tony Schiavone. He has no business being the lead commentator over top of Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is the best announcer, is the best commentary guy in wrestling today. Well, hands down, bar none. He is the best. Okay. And him and Nigel McGuinness played off of each other so well. Tony being in the mix of that completely destroys it. Completely kills the feel of it. Like I said, I like Tony Khan. I know he's the senior guy there. He doesn't need to be in charge of that show.
No.
And if you want it to be 3 people so bad, just take Tony out and bring Taz.
They don't know. They don't need
to have 3 people.
I'm saying if you want it to be 3 so bad. I don't want it to be 3 either.
I don't like. I'll say it now, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it. I don't like the 3-man crew. It very rarely does it work. Okay. The 2-man crew is the 2-man crew is the best, because then when you bring in a special announcer or someone for a match or something like that, you're not falling all over yourself. It's the same thing when you're doing streaming. Okay. 2 people is best. 3 people maximum. Okay. And then every person that you add, it just gets more and more convoluted. Look at what's going on Dynamite. It's a 4-man crew on Dynamite, and it sucks. They're all over the place.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. It worked so well. And then that's probably the biggest disappointment I have when it comes to AEW and especially Collision from last year is killing the 2-man crew. So it was such a bad move. Such a bad move. TK needs to get that crew back together. Collision needs to go back to more what it used to be a soft brand split featuring Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay when he gets there, FTR, House of Black, the guys that didn't get a lot of play on Dynamite. Those are the guys that should be a big deal over there on Collision. And look what happened with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks' star was on the rise. Okay, he was, and it was getting traction, and fans were getting behind it. And as soon as Tony went over there, they killed it.
Something else to complain about. He just did a job to Sammy Guevara.
Bad move. Bad move. But that's the thing. That's the first thing I'm going to put forward is that they got to get Collision back to being feeling different. But all of their shows should feel different from each other.
Yes.
That's the first thing. The second thing, get Ring of Honor off of AEW television. Ring of Honor needs to be its own thing. There's too many goddamn belts.
Oh, my friend. So long as the Devil's Henchmen are the tag team titles holders.
I know. I understand that. And here's the thing. I don't mind them being on AEW television. I'm saying the belts don't need to be defended on AEW television. What's the reason? Why are people going to buy Honor Club and watch Ring of Honor when the belts, 60% of the time are being defended on AEW television? There's no reason to. You're hamstringing Ring of Honor from the jump, and it's not a good look. It doesn't work well, and there's too many. And the other thing too is belts like the Pure title. The Pure title is not a normal. It's not supposed to be a normal belt. Okay, it's not the kind of belt that you defend all the time. The Pure title is a tournament title. It's it's a tournament title like the G1. It's a tournament title like King of the Ring. The only time that belt's supposed to be defended, except for maybe once in a blue moon, you have a pure match. It's supposed to be defended during the tournament. So unless you're going to do the fucking tournament, get rid of the belt. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. When the Pure tournament, that was like one of the best things in Ring of Honor in the last 4 or 5 years was the Pure tournament. It was a really cool idea, and having that person I think it was Rhett Titus was the first Pure champion, and then that carried through into the next year, and then you had the Pure tournament again, and that's the way it was supposed to be done. It wasn't meant to be a belt that was defended on TV or whatnot. TK turned it into that.
Yeah.
Which was unnecessary because right now between AEW and Ring of Honor, they have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7 belts in Ring of Honor. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 5. There's counting the Continental Classic, but the Continental Classic title shouldn't be something that's defended either. So between the two of them, you've got 14 belts. You got 14 belts. It's friggin' stupid. So it's if Ring of Honor is gonna be a thing, it needs to be a thing. If you want to have people going back and forth between AEW's roster and the Ring of Honor roster to fill it out and to bring some buzz and everything, that's fine. You don't need to be defending Ring of Honor belts on AEW television. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Being honest with you, I feel like Once it became clear that Tony was not getting a TV deal for Ring of Honor, he just lost interest.
Well, I think 110% the main impetus for him buying Ring of Honor was to get the film library. I think that's the main reason why he bought Ring of Honor.
He was, but from then on he tried to get a TV deal, didn't do it, so now it's being treated how it is.
Yeah, he tried to get a TV deal. He put the world title on Chris Jericho. That didn't get any traction. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen going forward. I mean, because according to all the reports, Warner Brothers Discovery want more. They want more shows. They want satellite shows.
Jesus Christ! No.
Oh, yeah, I know, but they want satellite shows like that cooking show that Cody and Brandy did for a while, or whatever. Like they want stuff like that. I think it's a terrible idea. Or what was that reality show that they had for a while?
Road to the Top, and then there was
that one, and then also the what was the one where they were like the behind the scenes the backstage thing, a show that they had. They want stuff like that, which I think is terrible. But we know the main reason they want all that stuff is so that they can have content for streaming.
No, let's start streaming. They got enough right now.
Yeah, a shot of brandy. That's what it was called. Oh. We lost Johnny. But yeah, it's so basically the other thing I think that TK needs to do is Ring of Honor needs to be its own thing.
Yes.
Okay. You can have guys show it. You have crossover every once in a while. You have guys show up. You don't need to be defending Ring of Honor belts every week on AEW shows. Dude, don't laugh. I think they're going to do that. I think the whole reason why Tony Khan gave him the green light to go do that is they're going to film it, and they're going to stream it. The hell's wrong with you, man?
It's Brazil. What do you expect?
AEW All Access. That's what it was. But so that's the second thing that I think they need to do. What about so that's two things from me. What do you got, Frank? What do they need to do from you, in your opinion?
They need to get a streaming service going.
Well, I think that's coming. I think that's part of the Max thing. Now, here's a question about that, though. Max is going to want the Ring of Honor library.
Fine.
Okay. So what? Okay, then what do you do with Honor Club? Do you kill Honor Club, or do you make Honor Club part of the Max package?
If they'll take it, fine. If not, then put Ring of Honor some other streaming or TV. I mean, they could have gotten CW and they didn't do it.
No. Which
Ring of Honor needs to be on streaming or on TV.
Yeah, I agree.
Not Honor Club.
Yeah. I think Honor Club was a good like temporary thing. I just don't see it as being viable.
Or take Rampage and make that Ring of Honor and get rid of Rampage.
Well, I have an idea for Ring of Honor. I could see them doing that, but I don't think they will. But it definitely needs to be its own thing.
They need to, as you said, establish. But you don't like it. They got too many titles, way too many. I don't know what the deal is. If I was Eddie Kingston, I wouldn't want to be carrying around 3 titles.
I'm surprised they didn't take those belts and combine them into one.
I don't want to be carrying around a handful of titles all the time I watch the ring. I don't.
Yeah, and it does, and to be honest, it confuses people. It really does. It confuses people. And then that's another thing too. One of those belts is friggin' New Japan.
Yeah,
it's like that's been one of the big problems with New Japan is they got too many damn belts. They got an entire new set when they started doing Strong. Even though I love Strong, I thought Strong was one of the best. Was like the best hour of wrestling on TV for a while. Too many goddamn belts.
If you're gonna have Dynamite and Collision as 2 separate shows.
Mm-hmm.
One women's title on one women's title on the other. Be like the E. Fine. You have your trios title. You have your 2-man title. That's it for the tag titles.
Yeah.
You have
the only 3 belts that should travel between. Actually, there should be 4 belts that travel between the 2 shows. The 2 world titles, the women's title and the men's title, the tag titles and the trios titles, and that's it. And I think you should only have 1 set of trios titles between all of your different shows. So the Ring of Honor trios titles, they should have a unification match, and there's your connection to Ring of Honor that you can go back and forth with.
Yeah. If you can take the tag titles, the women's tag titles on E and feature them at NXT or SmackDown or Raw, you can do the same thing with the trios titles in AEW.
Yep.
Frank, you just scared me. You just gave me a scary thought.
What's that?
With all the women TK is hiring, he might win women's tag team titles.
There's people that are.
I can see that happening.
It's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. And to be honest, I've talked to the multiple people. I was like, we need a women's tag. I was like, we need to get the women's division in AEW squared away first before we even start thinking about a women's tag title. Okay. Like we need to get that. We need to solidify the women's division to the point where it's got some more cohesive storylines. Because right now there's only one, and that's Tony Storm.
Get rid of this FTW bullshit title. Throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Throw it in the trash like Medusa did with the WWE.
I would do a TNT title versus FTW title, and then just say you're folding it into to TNT. And actually, I would do that, and then I would fold the 2 of them in and create the AEW television title. Get rid of the TNT and TBS bullshit. Okay, I understand. You can still have the TNT logo on it, but just don't call it that.
TNT is the men, TBS is the women's.
I understand that, but the only reason they did that was because they moved from one channel to the other.
Right.
So, but it should be the
make the TNT, which is the men's.
Yep.
Combine that with the FTW, make that a US title, and the international like an intercontinental title. Be done with it. We keep one on one brand, one on the other brand.
You need to get the FTW title needs to go away. But I just don't like I don't like them being branded the TNT and the TBS titles. I don't like it. It's got to be like you said, the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Champion, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Ring of Honor needs to be on the thing, and they need to give us some of the belts. The other thing too, I agree. Oh, how's mom and dad? Dad is they're okay. Mom is overdoing it as usual.
When does she not overdo it?
Dude, shit. We got into it the other day.
That's on a 14-year quest to find cigarettes.
No, dad's basically being a pain in the ass, but he'll be all right. He sees a specialist here in a couple of days.
Old man gonna old man.
Yep. Make the now. This is what I think they should do. Make Rampage the women's program, women's show. That's what I think they need to do. Rampage should become an all women's show. Here's the thing, though: the ratings are already not that great, so it's not so changing it to an all women's show is not going to affect it. Because if you have a dedicated hour to the women, that's going to force you to start working on the women's program. So,
one thing.
What?
Yes.
A lot of people would be crybabies about the women being relegated to the C show. You think TK is going to be able to handle the criticism?
being relegated to this. You mean okay? My response to them would be like, you guys have all said that there needs to be more women's wrestling. I'm going to give you an entire show for yourselves, for the women, to help build them up. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to have women's matches on Dynamite and Collision. It just means that now you've got a dedicated show, which is going to force them to actually start building the women's division up and making storylines. Because you can't have an entire hour of women's wrestling and just have it be random shit. So, which is what most of it is right now. Most of it is just random crap. So, this would solve all the problems with the women's division, in my personal opinion, or at least give you the tools to solve the problems. What do you think?
I don't know if it would work or not, but they need like Modesty just said, they need to put pay-per-views on Max and separate the rosters to different shows.
Yes. Well, I do a soft split. You have X number of you've got these main stars over here, these main stars over here, and everybody else can just kind of gravitate between.
They need more. I hate to say it, but I hate to say it. They need more pay-per-views. Whether it doesn't all have to be AEW. They can do Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
they can do 4 Ring of Honor and 8 AEW pay-per-views a year.
I think what they're going to do, they're going to give you more pay-per-views. They're going to go. It's going to eventually become one AEW pay-per-view a month. Ring of Honor will be like once every 2 or 3 months.
They need to establish, like the E has, the 4 main ones, and build on those like you have.
Yeah.
With Revolution, All In, forget All Out. Revolution, All In,
Double or Nothing in Full Gear.
Double or Nothing,
and Full Gear. Those are the 4 big ones.
Those are your 4 major ones. They need to get, and I don't know if it'll work or not. Maybe it's past its prime with the E when they first did it, but get some star power. And I'm not talking about wrestling star power. I'm talking about star power. Stars.
You talking about Hollywood music,
Hollywood entertainers, somebody singing a national anthem, somebody getting in there, some kind of exposure.
The national anthem thing is not a bad idea.
To get this start getting it into bigger arenas.
They can get Jinder Mahal to sing it in Punjabi.
Oh my God.
No, not Cyndi Lauper.
Jeez.
But if they could do something to get something more mainstream, like the E's got Logan Paul, which is a built-in. Something similar to like that. Get some people involved outside of wrestling to get into wrestling.
I think they had a little bit. They had a little bit of that.
They had a lot of that, but it was so random.
In the first year or two, they did have quite a bit because they had Snoop Dogg, they had Mike Tyson.
Dude, Rick Ross called Keith Lee a big motherfucker on TV.
Yeah. What's his name? Was it Jay and Silent Bob?
But they never did anything with it. Like they bring out Mike
exactly.
Tyson.
They never did anything.
They bring out Mike Tyson with Chris Jericho on it, and done. Like okay, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think a big part of that was budget. I think now, like I said, them inking this new deal with Warner Brothers Discovery is going to give them a lot more resources to work with. Because it's going to be $200 million plus. So they can do stuff like that. The big question I have with that though is that how far do you go? Because we saw what happened with WCW; they went way too far with it.
Right. Well, they were doing stupid stuff like bringing RoboCop and
it was dumb. That's what I'm saying.
And we didn't see Leatherface last year.
and
God.
and the kiss demon and shit like that. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The leather face thing was their version of the kiss demon.
And stupid things
opinion.
like putting the world title on David Arquette.
Yeah. But yeah, it's So
Guys
I get what
guys
you're
like
saying.
guys like Stephen Amell.
I don't know how that guy hasn't shown up yet, because there's friggin' AEW talent that working on the show.
Even Freddie, like a guy like Freddie Prinze, bring him in.
Well, Freddie Prinze is trying to build his own friggin' show, so he's not
Work out a deal with him and bring him into AEW.
I don't.
You know
what?
what?
Be a bad idea.
He would write a better show than Tony Khan.
Probably.
But
getting close to the end here, but there is one other thing, and this is something that, because I asked this question, by the reason why I'm asking this, we did this show, is because I asked this question of a lot of people on the internet, on Twitter and whatnot. One other thing that they brought up, Freddie was in the audience in one episode. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what was Max called him a Scooby Dooby douchebag. I remember that.
Yeah. One thing that was coming up over and over and over again, and I found it very interesting, is a lot of people said they need to move away from Chris Jericho.
I just like to remind everybody of that show. Like, before Punk was even in the company, like Justin was with us. It was before Max and Jericho. The match was for his career. He would love to. Even I was asking for him to lose and go away forever because I was already sick of him. I just want to leave that on record.
One of the reasons why, and I actually asked a lot of people, because here's the thing: I like Chris Jericho. I've always liked Chris Jericho. Is he as good in the ring as he used to be? No, but he's still good at telling a story and whatnot. However, their big problem, they said, is that he keeps injecting himself into the biggest storylines and making it all about him.
Forget storylines and people talking about the NDAs or Brawl Out on Twitter. He had to say something.
Well, that whole situation is, dude, when have wrestlers not been controversial?
Yeah, but why doesn't he shut the fuck up?
The same reason we tell TK. Why doesn't he shut the fuck up? Because they don't think they have to.
Yeah,
but that drama aside, though, it's like looking at like what's happened just in the last year. You can kind of see. I can see where people are talking about, because he keeps doing, like, he keeps reinventing like versions of his faction, and he keeps pulling in all these other younger wrestlers, this younger talent, but they never seem to really go anywhere because it's all about him. Sammy's a good case of this. Sammy's the most successful person that has come out of any faction that Jericho was a part of.
Yeah, but he breaks out, then comes back, then breaks out,
exactly.
then comes back.
He gets away, but then he ends up getting pulled back in.
Yep.
And a lot of people are saying that they feel like Jericho is, whether intentional or unintentionally, he's stymieing people's careers.
I've been warning you guys about this. Remember when he sucked the hit out of Eddie Kingston? When he wrote that article on the Players Tribune, and then he got on that match, and I told you guys he's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat Eddie. You guys tried to tell me no. What happened? He beat Eddie.
I understand, but a lot of fans are now, even before this, this bullshit with Kylie Ray and everything happened. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up on that, but the guy that made all those comments, by the way, that guy, I'm not going to say his name because he's a piece of shit. That guy has already walked back all the shit that he said. Not saying that Jericho, because let's face it, we don't know these guys. But those allegations and everything that he put out there turned out to be pretty much baseless.
Mind you, he walked it back while saying he wasn't walking anything back. Like,
yeah,
when you say,
he said, "I'm not walking anything back. I'm just gonna completely change everything I said."
Like when you say all due respect and proceed to, like, I don't know, but fuck somebody's mother.
Yeah, but after talking to all these people and getting this opinion from them, I had to look at it. I kind of looked at it through their eyes, and it's like they might have a point here.
Called it.
What do you guys think?
I've been calling it.
Well, yeah, you've been calling it because you just don't like Jericho. But I mean, like, Frank, what do you think? Do you think Jericho is more of a hindrance now than he was a help?
Yes.
You think he needs to hang it up?
Yes.
I would like to see him, because like I said, I don't want I don't want to see my heroes fall apart in the ring. I don't want to see them die in the ring. I don't want to see them get severely injured. Although Jericho's done a really good job of not getting injured through his entire career.
Unless he's fighting MVP.
Yeah. I think Jericho should transition into commentary.
Oh no.
Dude, he's really good on the stick.
He just screams everything. I really don't like it.
Dude, they're not going to just drop Jericho, okay? But I can definitely see Jericho, working commentary on a show and doing a really, really good job. But as far as him, like, I watched that match between him and Sammy and Big Bill and Ricky Starks, and I'm watching this and I'm looking at it, and like, Big Bill was beating the shit out of everybody, but for some reason Jericho shows up and Jericho starts kicking his ass.
I wonder why.
And I'm like, dude, like, I like the fact that when Jericho did that job to Hobbs, that was awesome. That's the kind of stuff he needs to be doing to like help build people up like that. Him going out there and whooping freaking Bill's ass, that doesn't do anything for Bill. That doesn't, and it was just like when him and Sammy had that match about 6 months ago. Why did Jericho have to win that match? Sammy could have used that rub. That could have really helped elevate Sammy. But why is Jericho winning that match? I don't understand it.
I told you so.
At this point, he should be, and I'm not saying that he needs to lose every match, or he even needs to lose the majority of them. But these big, huge matches that can make or break someone younger's career, he needs to be putting those guys over. They need to build that. Because that's one of the things that AEW needs to do, is they need to build more stars. But they're not going to do that if they're jobbing out. If Jericho's pulling a Hogan and making people lose to him all the time,
brother.
So I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I like Chris Jericho. I think he still has a lot to offer. But when it comes to these big, huge matches, like that match he had against Ospreay at All In, he needs to be dropping matches like that to guys like Ospreay.
Yes.
Like that big match that he had with Sammy. He should have dropped that match to Sammy. So I can kind of see what people are saying. I do agree with them. I think they need to start transitioning away from Jericho. Whether or not Tony's going to do that, probably not.
Not with the money he's paying him. He's got a few years on his contract.
I don't care, dude. No, use it. No, 100% use him. Jericho is still a big name. He's still a big name, but you need to use him to build to the future. And it doesn't feel like they're doing that. So, but dude, we could talk about this subject all day long, but we're pretty much at the end of the hour. Appreciate everyone that's here. Hicks Villain, Maldacito, Big Daddy, Courtney. Hang on a minute. Miss Saren, new names. Always like seeing new people come in here. And everybody else that was that stopped in and was hanging out and lurking. Appreciate you guys. What you got to say, Frank?
11 days. We will be live reacting Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. And next week we'll be making our Rumble predictions.
Yes.
Which that's going to be interesting. Who's going to show?
If you had one, make a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's who's going to show up, who's not going to show up, what's going to happen. We'll see. Yep. Appreciate you being here, man. And yeah, guys, thanks for being here. We will see you guys next time. Bye.